I know a lot of you right now are facing finals or work is really kicking up as we move into summer and there's a lot of shifts, a lot of things to be done. This is just a friendly reminder that while yes, you should be studying hard, you should be working hard, your school or job should never cost you your mental health. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Alone With Me by Hopsin. Now, I have no idea who this is, but that's part of the joy of it. It's like Christmas every day, guys. You guys are just giving me these gifts so I can feel excitement, so I can feel that feeling of experiencing something new all the time. There's so much music that I have not experienced, a lot of which is very popular and has been for a long time. So I don't know if this song's new or if it's older, but thanks for something new again, guys. This was a request over on my Friday live stream where you can make pledges to get me to react to a certain song. This is different than my Patreon where you also get priority song requests as well as behind the scenes stuff, content that I only post over there, personalized stuff, and so much more. Again, every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach, and I have this huge project that I've been working on that I think is going to make a huge difference in the mental health world. I really, genuinely, truly believe that. So thank you so much for your support and for believing in me. It really means the world to me. But today we're going to be doing Alone With Me by Hopsin. I'm thinking either of a bunny or of Mark Hoppus on Blink-182. So that is what I have in my mind going into this. No idea what to really expect. Not a bunny.
Marcus fucking Hopsin, my guy, what up? Don't mean to intervene. How are things going? Talk to me. How you living, G? You look so confused right now. Do you remember me? Cause I've been with you since a teen, fucking you up mentally. I love it, dude. Staying inside your head with a rent is free. I'm just here to make sure you keep all your crazy tendencies. Look at yourself in disbelief, struggle with your identity. Stuck in depression until you diagnosed with it clinically. How's your love life? It's still a trifling mess? Nigga, you 35, you haven't found a wifey yet? I mean, if I was you, would I be stressed? Why, yes. I guess a mail order bride is nice, it might be best. So how did you manage to get rich yet be so empty? Constantly stuck in a deep old frenzy. Maybe your ego ain't eco-friendly. Bro, you got a life that we don't envy. And I bet suicide must be so tempting. Do it.
Wait, hold up.
Damn.
Fuck's wrong with me? I can't leave me alone with me. I'm like, who is this nigga? Reminding my theory. It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror. Wait,
That was weird.
hold up. Shit. It's got control of me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I'm like, who is this nigga? Reminding my theory. It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror.
So how's the rap?
Okay, that was weird that I tilted my head and then the video tilted. I swear to you, I've never watched this video. That was just weird coincidence. This is so far from not only my own personal music preference, but anything we've ever done here on the channel, actually. Any of the previous reactions I've done. But even though rap is not a genre that I particularly gravitate to, and to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit of antipathy, I can still very much see the value in the message here. And interestingly enough, I discovered my shadow in my teens, and I know that there was a bit of a reference to that time frame, or at least that's when she became too loud and I couldn't ignore her anymore. But that was the time frame when I was officially diagnosed with, at the time, generalized depression. And this is such an accurate depiction of how that plays out, because she incited my less desirable traits and symptoms and thoughts, and she fueled my self-hatred and my self-doubt. And as I grew older, she started leading me down those dark paths and validated the dark thoughts that I had and constantly rubbed my nose in everyone else's success. And there was just this ongoing pressing as to why don't you have what they have? Why aren't you successful like that person? And it's just this ongoing process of comparing your behind the scenes and what's in your head to the highlight reels that everyone else wants you to see of their life. So even though this isn't really my genre, it's a really powerful and accurate depiction.
So how's the rap life? Do people enjoy your music? Or you still spitting that bullshit to destroy the youth with? Be honest, you live in the shadow with Joyner Lucas. You jealous? I know that you are. My point is proof. What the fuck happened to you? You was spitting so cold. You was the ill minor Hopsin on the list with the ghosts. Then you fell off. You should've took a different approach. I hate to say it, but you'll never be like Kendrick or Cole, nigga. It's fucked up. That isn't fair, Marcus. I'm hoping that God will answer your prayers, Marcus. But even if he does, the chances are rare that you'll have hands in the air headlining Madison Square Garden. Nigga, put the mic down, don't you fight this fight. Cause you the corny rapper only weird white kids like. So every time the blogs post you, the comments gon' roast you. I would rather be dead than be caught living in your shoes.
Wait, hold up, I'm tripping. Fuck's wrong with me, I can't leave me alone with me. I'm like, who is this nigga? And why do I fear him? It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror. Wait, hold up, please stop. It's got control of me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I'm like, who is this nigga? And why do I fear him? It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror.
Alright, I got an idea. I'll tell you how it works. It's gonna sound a little outrageous, but hear me out first. You turn your phone off for 2 weeks and start an outburst of worried family members, which leads to a local town search. And when they find you, you dead inside of your crib with a letter that says goodbye to your kid. But
Oh my god. Oh, this hits home as my conviction to divorce came after a panicked attempted goodbye to my 11-year-old son, or at the time 10, but he was sleeping. And I've talked about this before, but I'd gone in to say goodbye. He was sleeping, and this kid never wakes up. Let me just be clear about this. This kid never wakes up. And he woke up and he put his blanket around me and said, "I'll be your wing," which just meant everything to me because of the scene in Lucifer where he puts his wings around his love interest and protects her. And at that moment I knew that I couldn't. But the mic of his inner critic is obviously just turned up to the max, feedback screeching through his brain, which how many of you can relate to that, where you just have that feedback screeching between character assaults and pleas to throw in the towel and just give up. Of course, this leads to confirmation bias, and that's when listening to the outer critics and ignoring the praise of any other positive perspective, right? So now you have wired your brain to only seek out things to confirm what you already believe, what you already believe is negative. So you're going to see the things, you're going to be more finely tuned to the things that are going to be an echo chamber to what you already believe. In the middle of this excerpt, self-awareness kicks in, right? That's what happens kind of when he starts rapping again and not his shadow or whatever you want to call it, is that self-awareness starts kicking in and stands up to the bully in his head, right? He just doesn't quite have enough in his arsenal, it seems, yet to truly fight back. But the key word is yet. And I have to tell my son that all the time. When you feel like you can't do something, say, I can't do it yet because I don't have the skills yet. Yet is the magic word in my household. Feeling weak, his thoughts wanting to go, wanting to know that somebody cares, which is provoking. He's wanting to provoke worry in loved ones or the thoughts of suicide. That's completely normal when you're having that distorted train of thoughts, when you're having that distorted outlook. It's something that a lot of people do. But believe me, there are so many people that love you and that you don't have to go through all of that pain just for them to prove it to you or show it to you.
Don't get to see him anyway, cause your ex is wildin' and shit. So in his little head, it's like you already died. It's a trip. While you reside in heaven or hell, whichever side that it is, your baby mom's will regret the shit she never tried to get fixed. If you're alive, chances are she'll never try to repent. I'm just trying to show you ways to exercise your revenge. All you want is love, right? Well, you gon' have to get some balls. Shoot your fucking brains out until they splat against the walls. I mean, it has to hit the blogs, and all your fans will get involved, and you'll be missed, cause people don't know what they have until it's lost. Hug your dad and kiss your mom before this transition is done into the new life. Your current one is trash, it isn't fun. Yeah, everybody got problems and we all fighting this big war, but your problems are different. You got nothing to live for.
Hold up.
Oh no.
Fuck's wrong with me? I can't leave me alone with me. I'm like, who is this nigga? Why do I fear him? It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror. Wait, hold up.
Please stop.
It's got control of me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I'm like, who is this nigga? Why do I fear him? It couldn't be clearer. The man inside the mirror.
What I'm thinking, what you're thinking is not the important thing. We are alive right now, that is the important thing. It is important that you focus on this fundamental sense of aliveness within you, and then you will see there is a natural distance between you and your thought process. Once you create a little space between you and your mind, between you and your body, this is the end of suffering. Don't identify any thought as negative, because it's just a thought. Who told you it's negative? It's just a thought. You're making it up, maybe you like it. What's the problem? If you understand it's just a thought, it has no power. If you think it's a reality, then it destroys you.
That was such a cool ending. Such a cool ending. So positive and uplifting after it takes you through all of the thoughts, all of the insecurities that we have when we're in that state of mind. I've been there, and there have been so many times where, like when my mom passed away, for example, I felt like I could not be alone with myself. When I had the miscarriage, I didn't know how to be alone. Even when my dog passed away, I didn't know how to be alone with my own thoughts because they became so overwhelming. And even now, I'm having these struggles currently where I still have that ambivalence to be alone with my thoughts because they can be really scary and they can seem to kind of go out of control. As we can see from the outside here, he has plenty to live for, a child, success, this career that impacts other people for better, for worse, but depression symptoms will tell that to literally any person whose mind they can infiltrate. The shadow, any mind it can infiltrate, it's going to tell them that they're worthless, that nobody loves them, and maybe somewhere along the line these are tapes that other people externally have really beat into them in one way or another, and it can be hard to overcome but not impossible. I love how he gives them the grenade and he disappears into light, and that was what I loved. It's not like he disappeared and it was gory and graphic. He disappeared in this light, and I believe that we can come to laugh with our shadow like that, and we can come to a positive interaction with them where we understand why they're there and we realize that they exist as a defense mechanism to protect us from this pain that we have experienced externally. That is why a shadow or the man in the mirror, whatever you want to call it, exists. I know people who have corrupt systems failing them as parents, or bitter exes filling their kids' heads with all of this toxin, right? And that was a theme that was brought up here. I also know several kids who went through this as children and who have since grown up, and a great majority of the time they realize sooner or later when they are older the awful game that was played against them, right? And they come around. But in the meantime, keep fighting. Fight the system. Fight your ex. Fight the urge to quit. Don't stop fighting. And if you really want revenge, live your best life, because believe me, trust me, nothing brings people from your past out of the woodwork quicker than your own success. I've been there. I've had this happen time and time again. And you'll realize by then how much better you can do without them. So it's kind of this funny situation where you want this so bad and you want it, and then while you're living your life, you start to move away from those people, and you're not sending out that desperate energy, and once they come back to you, you don't want anything to do with them anymore. Plus, you'll have strengthened the relationships with the people that do care, or you'll have to let go of the people in your life who don't build you up. I say that a lot, but you will have found the ones that do during that process. The mention of the distance between yourself and your thought process. Whoa! This was something that took me a long time to learn, but is one of my most valuable lessons, not only for myself, but that I can share with other people. It's the most notable part of this entire song, which I'm getting excited about a rap song, and I never thought that would be happening. I just don't resonate with that, like I said, that genre. But this is the diamond in the rough, so I will say that. But I suggest that if this is something that you relate to, name your brain, name your symptoms. For me, it's my shadow. I have my shadow, my diva, and my kid, which is like my inner child. If you name your brain and you make it something separate from you, you see it now as separate, it really is powerless. It's only feeding on the relevance that you assign to it. So if you dial down that relevance, if you can see it as something outside of you, because you have the voice beneath it that still fights against it. No matter how far down you are, you still have that voice, albeit sometimes very quiet, that is rejecting these ideas or that is trying to combat these ideas. These thoughts are a separate entity. So think of it like the man in the mirror. Think of it like the shadow. Think of it as Steve, if that's what you need to call it. Name your brain, name your shadow, name those thoughts, those limiting beliefs. I know it sounds silly, but I promise it really helps once you make it a separate entity, once you recognize that it's a separate entity. Guys, good, bad, and crazy, share your stories here in the comments. That's how we shatter the mental health stigma, is by talking about it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it, because I guarantee you there are a lot of people who need to see this message. And I will say again, this isn't even my type of music, and I loved it. I loved the visual. I loved how deep it got, how raw and honest it was. Absolutely beautiful. So I give it 2 thumbs up, and I went into it. I'm not gonna lie. There were several times that I cringed in the very beginning going, oh, here we go. I don't know how I'm going to extract meaning or extract anything from this that I can share. I was really afraid that I was just going to dislike it. And I will be honest with you, if I do dislike something and still just share my thoughts and feedback accordingly. But I really went into it and am very, very grateful for a different perspective, a different way of looking at things, a different voice that I wouldn't have listened to on my own. I never would have went out of my way to listen to this, and had one of my friends shared it, I probably would have listened to about 10 seconds and turned it off. But I felt that in this scenario, I had committed to listening to it, and I'm very, very grateful I did. So thank you for that. Thank you for your continued love and support. I really love you guys so, so much. Mwah.